that debate?
Yes.
Butch Christensen. Mike Christensen. Jason Deal. Aerial technician Jason Deal, everybody. Head technician Taylor Hamill. Our dear friend Phil Reeves. From the Midwest chapter, Tim Cruz. Amanda. It's quick. It's a really fast connection. Taylor will demonstrate a figure 8 follow through. You're welcome to use that as well. That's really nice. There's also this one that I learned today that I'm really excited about. Here, let's dump all this up. Show him that trick that you did today, here, Taylor. You know the Alpine butterfly with the double auto locking carabiner? This is really cool. I don't know why I got really excited about this one, but I did.
I love your excitement.
But I know I just need to slow it down. How are you, Alicia? Nice to see you. May I? You may.
If you have one line and you want to fold it in half and use the center point, you can tie an inline knot here and clip it in with a carabiner.
Oh.
I think I have a carabiner on this thing somewhere.
Always quick with the double auto locking carabiner.
Ta-da!
You know how to open this one.
Whoa! Except you don't want it this long. You want it nice and short.
You will want it shorter.
So that's easy enough to fix.
That being said, are we going right to the hub?
No, good question. You will. It's positioned suitably to bring the bell in comfort without worrying, like, for example, a spread ratio, like if you were secured footlock or something like that.
Or just that to release a cam that we don't get into a larger diameter of the rope if we're flipping the side side.
We've accounted for that, and we think that it's going to be safe, that there should be plenty of overhead for you to work.
Look up. You got like 4 or 5.
What is the height?
The distance between the hub and the bell.
No, we don't know the exact distance between the hub and the bell. We do know that it's within, if the question is the bell within arm's reach? No, that's not.
So how much higher is the hub than the bell?
We did not take a measurement of that. We just did dry runs, and we were satisfied with the results.
Estimation?
I would say about 10 inches.
No, more than that.
Like I said, more than that.
How about we'll try to measure it when we bring it up there?
Yeah.
That's fine.
We'll measure it and we'll let you know.
Jason Deal has like a built-in micrometer in his eye.
What other questions? What other questions about tying in to the hub?
I thought there was only 3 approved methods.
The bell, everyone, the hub is about here and the bell is about here. Okay? Roughly? Is that all right?
Yeah, that should be. Seems legit.
Something like that.
It's a pretty good build. What other questions about tying in specifically?
Someone said something about the 3 methods.
There was only 3 methods that we were told we could use, so that's changed now?
Yes, I got to say that's been changed as we demonstrated perfectly suitable methods of tying into it. Are you okay with that, or is there something?
Yeah, no, that's fine.
Okay.
So has other stuff changed as well that we were unaware of?
Go right ahead.
Of course, it had to come from Mark. Appendix 7 is a guideline, and basically the configuration shown there is a doubled rope that moves, or a single stationary rope, or 2 stationary ropes. Those are the configurations you get. I don't really think there's any other configuration, unless you wanted to wrap your rope through 7 times or something like that to make a mechanical advantage system. You could sure do that. But
sounds good.
Also, could you use the carabiners to connect it rather than tying to the hub like in the diagrams?
say that again, Scotty.
In the diagrams, you were tying it directly to the hub with figure 8 follow-throughs, and now we're allowed to use the carabiners, so it's a little bit different to what we were told.
Sure.
That might be the question.
Yeah.
Basically, the photographs in the appendix are guidelines, and of course, a direct connection to the hub or rigging plate or rings or whatever the certain chapter uses. That's a cleaner system, right? That's just simply the reason we included it in the appendix. But any suitable method of attachment is totally fine. Yep.
The way I read the score sheet, the first one reads moving. We all know what moving is. Show of hands if you know what moving is. It's simply routed through the hub. I know that may seem silly, and I don't mean to condescend. Moving on, the other is single stationary. Like if, for example, I were to tie an alpine butterfly and route the falling end through and pull it up. That is single, and one leg is stationary. The other is double stationary, which I first demonstrated by using double auto-locking carabiners and splices onto the hub itself. So while those are three different ways of connecting, they still fall within the three categories: moving, single stationary, and double stationary. Anything that you bring to us that's approved and bomb-proof, we're going to let you proceed as far as tying into the hub. Go ahead, Matt.
Just a quick question. Any of these lines right here, they're going to be for use tomorrow, or we're bringing our own line?
You are welcome to change out for your own line. There are two lines right here that are in-house. They're both static. What is it? Is that Sterling HTP?
This is KM3 this is KM3. It's 11 millimeter. We will also have a 10.5 millimeter something or other available for you to use.
So you can use a rope wrench on that rope.
Absolutely.
Ascent only, yes.
Ascent.
Question, Joe.
Not that bad. It doesn't.
Go ahead,
But you got to be able to come
Go ahead,
down.
Josephine.
Combination of either rope, so it doesn't matter if it's not the same rope.
Yes, that's correct. Can you use a combination of line? And yes, you may. Any other questions before we move on?
You could not descend on a rope wrench on the KM3?
Typically, if that's a static line, I mean, I wouldn't use it for work position. Is that not approved?
I think KM3 Max is in ATI.
Yeah, KM3 is.
Yeah. So
Okay, thank you for that correction. Thank you.
So you can descend.
Absolutely.
Yes. However, we will most likely cable you down. Yes, Mark, do you want to address?
Yeah, just
All right, go ahead.
I think these questions, we're not making up these rules. The only thing we're saying is bring something to the table that's correctly configured. If what you bring to us is correctly configured, there's good compatibility, there's no problem. Now, if you did this with a carabiner on, a really big fat shackle that loads that incorrectly, the carabiner, that's a problem. But as long as it's correct point loading, it's loaded major axis in the correct axis, that's okay. But you're the competent people here, so we want you to consider compatibility issues ahead of time. If we're unhappy with what you're showing us, we're going to point it out. So this is not a rules issue. It's a real life issue.
And none of this really has anything to do with the actual points that you accrue during the event, correct?
That's correct.
Okay.
This won't have any bearing on your score.
Okay.
Matt, if I may say something.
What we would prefer is that if you have two lines or one line, whatever lines you would like to use, if you would like to use these here, or you bring your own line, we would prefer that you just give them to us and tell us how you would like them attached, and we will attach them for you. You don't have to worry about any of this attachment stuff. We will do the work for you. You are welcome to attach it if you feel better that way, but it's probably just smoother if you just hand us the lines and we will tie them on. Okay?
Cool.
If you are next in line, what we're going to do is we're going to run one person. There should be two people suited up, one on deck, one in the hole. So you should be completely suited up in preparation for your climb.
There is a question.
Yeah, I just had a question. Say you've cinched off two lines like there. You obviously can't re-weight them. But can you have them just positioned so they're not hanging right on touch of each other?
Yes, of course you can. As you can tell on this, on this hub, I can separate.
Yeah, but at the ground.
That's not your question, is it?
once it's in the air, can you set it before you walk out with it separated with the ropes draped so they're not right next to each other? So when you walk up, you can clearly grab without.
Yes, you can do your own housekeeping. Yes, however, whatever works for you. This is your event. We want it to be safe, and and compliant, but other than that, the housekeeping issues like that are yours. Any other questions before we move on? Do we want to cable up? Let's cable up.
Are you going to run?
Sure.
You want to run on 1 or 2?
1. Why are you looking at me all suspicious?
It wasn't in the script.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, let's bring it up.
And I don't have to run. 59 feet 6 inches, is that correct? And in metrics? Just kidding. I'm just starting lobbing something at me.
It's 18.14 meters, 59 feet 6 inches.
59 feet 6 inches. 18 point how many meters?
0.14.
0.14 meters. It's a deal. All right. Oh, go right ahead. Fire him off. Yes, of course you can footlock. Footlock hasn't gone by the wayside just yet. How many of you actually footlock in production still? I know you do, Derek. Who else? You guys still footlock? Corey, you still footlock in production?
When it's right.
That's fantastic. There was a time, I remember it well, that if you had a commercial driver's license, showed up on time for work, and could pack your own lunch and could footlock, you could write your own ticket. You could pretty much work wherever you wanted to. Anybody remember those days? Spurless entry was absolutely critical. The event has quite a long history throughout the competition circuit as well. And it's probably time to move on. Many people don't consider it ergonomically suitable for our bodies. I know that some people have complained of soft tissue injuries associated with footlocking a lot. I've done it for years. I've never had any major problems with it. I just find that other methods are more efficient.
We should mention the load cell right now for the climbers.
Sure. Let's bring it front and center. So tomorrow it's worth noting. Tomorrow it's worth noting that we're going to have a load cell in the tie-in. And we're not going to field an awful lot of questions about this, but basically it's a data collection tool.
Pulls all the contacts off the phone.
Yes, it'll still be the hub, so you can connect directly to any of the holes on the hub if that's what you feel, or you can tie in. This data, I'm to understand, where is Brian? Brian, do you want to have a word with us about the cell, what we're setting up, or are we just about there? Okay, it's about data collection. Taylor, are you ready?
Yep.
Okay, timer's ready?
Ready.
Hang on. We'll do the walkthrough. Like, I'm a competitor, right? I walk in. Hey guys, how you doing, everybody? First thing we do, hook you up to the belay. Okay, we're gonna ask you. A lot of stretch. Let's go. I'll jump a little bit. You want me to hop? 1, 2, 3, hop. There it is. Okay, there. That's good. Belay. Okay, belay stays on. A little slack. Good.
Great. All right, timer's ready? Belayers ready? Aerial technician.
I don't like how these are set up. Can I come and change them a little bit?
I think you're pretty
Can I
much...
just go like this?
Yes, you can. You can come in and do the housekeeping, yes. But we're not going to lower the hub and let you reconnect and...
That's for you, Bo. I'm not going to go all the way to the top because I've already done it like 7 times today, so...
Give the people what they want, Taylor. How many of you want Taylor to make a full ascent?
That they can view my changeover.
Okay.
Okay. You can do it twice. All right, we're going to do this nice and easy. I'm not going to rush through it. I'm going to go up a little bit. I will pretend to ring a bell. I will do the changeover, and I will, we'll do that whole thing. We'll talk through it as we go, okay?
I've never seen a more blatant attempt to get out of making a full climb in my life.
Christian would have done it.
All right. All right, back to our startup procedure. Do we have a question from the sidelines? I can move a little bit. How about this? Okay. Timers ready? Ready. Belayers ready? Is the audience ready? Yeah! On your mark, get set, go. So Taylor's time has started. Time. That's his first time. Now, 14:19. We'll record that right here. We'll get 3 times. 14:19. What else? Maybe 14:19 and some change. But 3 times will go here under A, which is setup. Moving on, his ascent. Now he'll prep for ascent. Go ahead and do your prep. Yes. Go right ahead.
So before you start, you'll be assessed for having a series backup or not. Is this a series backup?
Yes.
So that's 2 points straight off the bat right there.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Everybody understand that?
Can you repeat?
Backup is. Yes, I do. I prefer that you do. Mark Bridge, everybody.
So Scotty's question was, is this a series backup? Yes, it is in series. We have 2 cams or 2 devices attached to the line, one above the other. Both attached back to the climber. That's a series backup. Can they go with 1?
One more. It depends on the tool you're using.
Take the rope wrench, for example.
Rope wrench can go without series, but you're not going to get the 2 points.
So a question.
Sorry, can you say that again?
Whether or not you get the 2 points depends with what you're attached on the line. If it's a rope wrench, 1 point of attachment is okay. Okay.
So that would be worth 2 points.
No.
You can have it.
No, but this is it. You're making strategic decisions when you're designing your system. You can go all flat out on speed, quick installation, quick easy transfer, or you can have something that will take maybe a bit more time to transfer, but it gives you the 2 points. So you're having to make strategic decisions as to how you plan your climb.
You can put a series backup with a rope wrench, which I would never do.
Absolutely.
Yeah, 2 points. It'll take you time to install it. It's just, I mean, what we're trying to do with this event is we're trying as an industry to discuss how we design our systems. This is what this is about. That's where we think there's value in these competitions. So this is just a first iteration. It'll probably evolve, but we've got to start somewhere. And the attempt is to get a deeper understanding of what we're looking for.
Go ahead, Colin.
What is it called when you have is it a parallel backup when you have something on a second?
We're using that as basically. There's been a lot of discussion about this with regards to terminology.
Okay.
For the purposes of this event and in the rule book, we have used the word series backup.
Okay.
This also applies to if you've got 2 stationary lines and you attach a primary system in one and you put another system into the other, we're still going to, by definition in the rule book, we will still class this as a series backup.
Okay.
If in reality it's a parallel or it's something else, this is semantics.
Okay.
I think we're basically, if you've got 2 attachments, so if you have a primary failure, you have a secondary system which will stop you hitting the ground. That is a series backup by definition.
Thank you.
For this event.
Go ahead, Cormac.
Yes.
Can you repeat him?
Well, it's one system, but if one individual component in that system fails, you're going to be hanging on a second.
You wouldn't be allowed to use it by itself.
Yeah, wait a minute. You haven't got.
Setting up a proper system.
Yeah. No, he's got a second point of attachment from the ascender into his harness. That's one attachment on the ascender. He's got a line here.
What he's saying is individually, it's not acceptable as life support to be on either the hand descender
You
or the
can't
crawl.
no, you can't. No,
Right,
that's
so
right.
then it's still not really two backups.
Yeah,
If
why do you
need-
get extra points for that?
Yeah.
For setting
Well,
up
it depends on the
a proper
configuration of your
system.
systems. Some systems by nature, with open cam systems, where there's a potential for the system to come out of the rope, there you need a secondary. So in this particular example, the frog system, this is a system which has two. This by nature has got two safeties. You know?
Terminated is
Yeah.
6 points, so you're not backed up.
Well, you're not back. You know, you haven't got a full parallel, but you've got 2 points into the harness.
One, no?
One carabiner. Hang on. I'm only wearing one harness. Okay?
I mean, if you
This is the way it's set up right now. It's just the way that it is. This has taken a long time and gone through very, very many discussions and very, very many online conversations and meetings and all kinds of stuff and getting feedback and changing things and all of that. And things are going to continue to change. But the way it sits now, if you install a rope walker system like this, you get 2 extra points.
What do you mean you're only wearing one?
Go ahead, Ryan.
First time I'm understanding this, and I can't change my system at this point. That'd be dumb, frankly. And you're just giving a 2-point bonus for a proper setup with 2 cam devices.
Yeah, well, it is. This by nature is a safe device. It's almost safer.
But you're benefiting as if it's a safer device.
Well, 2 points of attachment are safer than 1.
So, well, but I mean, double cams are more likely to shred
It's
your rope.
1 point of attachment on the harness. It's always going to be 1 point of attachment on the harness, whatever system you use. That's why it's a series and not a parallel. If you have a parallel, you've got 2, you know. Yes. Yes. If the lines are isolated, 2 cams have to fail before.
That's simple.
I have a question back here.
Ryan, go ahead, sir.
If we're on a single line, let's say on a rope bridge, if I tether a hand defender to me on that single line, that's a backup.
Yes.
Yes, it is.
Yes.
Yes.
As it stands now, it is, yes.
We would get 2 points.
I got a quick question.
Go ahead, Bo.
With my system, I planned on using the chest attachment for the part of my system, along with both harnesses, basically. So the attachment right there, the yellow in the middle of your chest, and my primary on my tree motion. Is that acceptable?
Yes, that's why I suited up just like this, because this is acceptable. I have the Petzl Newton on first, then my TM over top.
Right. And you can utilize both for your system.
Yes, you may. And it also, I'm compliant because I have a dorsal, as you know.
Another valid point, I believe, is if you had
2 systems on both lines? Tandem? Yes, sir.
My backup is not the dorsal right here.
Right, but not on the separate harness. You're actually talking about the climate harness.
I'm talking about using the Newton and my tree motion.
Please keep in mind that one of these classifications reads double stationary, so that might be more suitable to what you're doing. I'll let you cook that one, okay?
One tether is considered 2 points of attachment. A little bit ago, a double hand defender with 1
Okay, can I just jump in quickly? We're going to have the Gear Check Tech meeting at 6:30. That'll run for about 45 minutes to an hour, and we've dedicated a good 1.5 to 2 hours to go into this in more depth. So we'd like to push on with this demo, run through the demo, and then any further questions we can discuss, you know, whatever, 7:30ish over at the admin building. Okay?
Sounds good.
Mark. Will you have ropes installed to show us what systems are acceptable and what are not, as far as the questions with double ascenders and...
We can go through that this evening, Scotty.
Yeah, that's fine.
We've got a PowerPoint presentation.
Okay, cool. There
we
is
can answer
information.
all these questions later and see what's compatible, what's not. We just want to...
Thank you.
Otherwise, we're going to
As
be
long as
able
there'll
to
be a visual aid there for us, I think we'd all appreciate that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Time on, Taylor.
This has been a difficult journey for all of us, I
it's
assure
a
you.
work in progress.
I assure you. Okay. Let me get reset here, ready for my ascent. Is that okay, head judge?
Yes, go right ahead.
Go, Taylor.
Woo! Now Taylor's second time will start when his second foot leaves the ground. Timer's ready. All right. Watch that second foot and listen closely for the bell. What are you looking for?
Go, Taylor. Super smooth, buddy.
I'm approaching the bell. Ding!
His time to transition into descent mode starts the split second that he rings that bell.
Get in there, buddy. Lock it. Oh. Oh no, I'm not high enough yet. This is terrible. You blew it.
Keep going. Keep going. Keep going.
Neck tether off.
Oh my God. Someone's not climbing.
Here we go. Ding!
Well done, Taylor. Well done, Taylor.
Okay, now both belayers will cable him down. You guys work together. You guys know your jobs.
You don't have
Mommy.
Okay.
Well done, Taylor.
Okay, the question being, if you opt for secured foot lock, what constitutes descent mode? Must you break your prusik? The answer is no. That would put you with only one hand engaged. So you do not have to disengage your prusik. You must introduce a figure 8 descender and pull up on both or one leg of the falling portion, the part that goes to the ground. You pull up on that portion to dress the slack from the figure of 8, and you are considered in descent mode. Does everyone understand that? Okay. Sure. With the belay though, please. Yeah.
If it doesn't hold the first time,
Here is secured foot lock.
All right, listen up.
What?
You'll have plenty of time to talk amongst yourselves. There's people that want to listen. Please keep it quiet. Secured footlock here.
I'm good with it.
Okay, that's my setup time. Yep.
Here's our regular. Yeah, all the way to the top.
Ding!
Oh, I like it.
Ding!
11:60.
Okay. Cormac, my foot locked up, I rang the bell, put my 8 in, stood back up and rang the bell.
It's good.
All right, Christian, let's see a rope wrench.
Okay, I can do a quick demonstration if you wanted to use a rope wrench. It's going to be long-winded because I don't have really good sharp setup skills.
Can you do you descend on a figure eight on your side hearing? Not on the side hearing, but on the front side hearing? Like
the lower D?
That's fine.
One attachment?
Say again.
You're not allowed to have your lander just go into one? Why are you allowed to come down on
The thing
that?
is that I have my weight balance between pressing and figure eight in this configuration. If I'm just going down on a rig, all of the weight is in the rig, so that would not be acceptable.
Thank you, Taylor.
Taylor, you have your figure eight here?
Yes.
Is it okay to have a series backup connected to this?
There's a good question.
That's one for the rules committee to decide on, but I would say no, it's not.
Okay, let's cut down the chatter, folks. Let's keep it to real questions here. We can do a run through here with a rope wrench if anyone would like to see it. Otherwise, while Christian's getting set up, if anyone has any other questions about setup, yes. We have a full body Aveo harness that you may use. Otherwise, you may put the Newton on and then your own harness over it. We've got like one small, one large of each, I believe. This is a large one. There is a small one, yes. The small is like fully adjusted out on me, so it's small enough, yes.
If I just put two hand ascenders on two tethers to me, is that all you need then?
That would get you a series backup, yes.
No crossing or anything, just two hand ascenders.
Yep, because those lines are static. Sorry, stationary.
So they can be on the same rope too.
Not on a moving rope.
But on the same side of rope. What if I put one hand ascender above another hand ascender and just pushed it up as I went up and both were tethered to me?
Yep, that's fine.
That's legit. So we don't even need a prosec anywhere.
Nope.
Backing anything up.
Nope. Yes, Bo.
Devices like the DMM Buddy, they don't have to be removed because they'll track both up and down the rope, correct?
Correct.
Are we allowed to weight the lines before going in? Are we allowed to put a little weight on the...
No, the question is about weighting the lines, putting weight or tying knots or something into the lines. The lines will be sitting just like this. Once your time starts, you can do whatever you want to the lines, but you cannot weight the ropes before your time starts.
Okay.
Yeah.
Only the Newton harness. Is he asking if you can just use that? For descent.
You may use just the Newton if you like, yes.
It doesn't offer.
Yeah, it's not very comfortable, but it doesn't
Rides
matter.
like dental floss.
Yes, Bo.
Will we be allowed to try out the harnesses on the rope with our systems before we actually do it?
No, I don't know. I can't see us having enough time to do that. But you know what? You know, we may be able to have a station where you might be able to do that on the side. Maybe we'll be able to do that.
It would be really handy to know like how
Okay.
you're going to incorporate the system with a different kind of harness that we normally use.
Then what if we simply stage a line over there or somewhere out of the circle where you can sit in the harness.
If that's possible, that would be very
So they don't want you.
Another question, go ahead.
One more question. It may seem like an obvious one, but can you have the lines a bit further apart?
If we can listen to the question, it's really important.
Quiet down, please.
I'm sorry.
If you want to, could you have the lines a little bit further apart, or is it limited? It's obviously it's limited to where you can attach them on the hub, so you can have them a little bit further apart.
No, it's going to be limited to the width of the hub.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Just a quick question about harnesses. One has a rated attachment point on the back. Do you still need to wear the full body?
Yes, if you're referring to the tree motion here.
SRT.
It's not dorsal.
the SRT
Okay.
Sequoia petrol. It's got a dorsal.
It's not dorsal. We're looking
It's got
for
a
dorsal.
butt attachment. A tailbone attachment is generally for fall restraint only, so that would not be acceptable as an overhead belay attachment point. It'd be fun.
Can you use your dorsal attachment point?
If you have a harness that has a dorsal attachment point, we will be connecting the belay to that. I don't believe that you can use that to ascend with. Is that your question?
As a backup, like something on it as a backup.
Certain pieces of equipment, like the Petzl ASAP, is meant to be attached back there, so that would be acceptable.
Do you use an ASAP in front above a hand ascender? Because the hand ascender will stop it, and then it will.
No, an ASAP or a buddy must be used as intended as a backup on a separate line.
Okay.
You can't put a buddy or an ASAP in line with your ascenders. Okay. Go on.
Damn.
I think we're going to shut this down for now. As I say, we'll take more questions afterwards in the meeting. So this was the walkthrough for the 27 ITCC. I think there's a lot of space for discussion. I can understand your reactions to this. As the others were explaining, there's been a lot of discussion that's gone into this. Is it perfect? No, it's not. Is it a step forwards? Yes, it is. So bear with us, be patient, let's work this out together. Certainly not intended to penalise you or to make your life difficult in any shape or form. What we're going to know, Ryan?
I got one last one.
If it's okay.
So you don't have to break a prusik, but if you went up on two hand ascenders and then, let's say, put on a rig or a figure eight, you have to take those off, or can you leave that as if you left a prusik?
Because
So in a footlock system, the prusik is an integral part of your descent system, right? Because you have a figure eight and you have to have the prusik there to back up the figure eight. So you can leave that attached. And when you put the figure eight in, you're in descent mode. You just have to grab your prusik, right? But when it comes to the handle descenders, if the handle descenders are on the rope, you cannot descend without thumbing them open or detaching from them. Right? And it's generally not acceptable to thumb open the cams and then ride down on a figure eight. So in that case, if you did go up on two handle descenders and you put in a figure eight or a rig or something, you would have to detach those ascenders from the line or detach the ascenders from your body to be in descent mode. Yeah?
And you're not allowed to do that because a figure of eight is not a descent device.
So a figure of eight would not be a good choice in that case because you can't just descend.
It's not backed up.
Look, if I look back over the years how these climbing competitions have evolved, if you think back 10, 15 years, there's much more diversity as to how people were climbing. And over time, I think efficient climbing techniques have evolved. What we hope will happen here as well is over a period of 10, 15 years, this will streamline and identify better, safer ascent systems. I think if you look to industrial rope access, it's a much more standardized format they use. I'm not saying that's what we're looking for, but I think that there's some pretty goofy systems out there at the moment. I think we need to weed out some of this goofiness. We need to understand better what we're looking for, and then we need to, and it's also an opportunity for manufacturers to design, to deliver more efficient, safer systems for us. That's what we hope to achieve with this event. So, moving on, 6:30, there's going to be the open session over in the admin building. If you want to join us for that, feel free to do so. I need all the gear check techs there, certainly. There's going to be pizzas over there.
Rock the wrench!
Okay, whenever you're ready. Okay, timer's ready.
Ready.
Tech's ready. Entry tech ready. Climber, when you're ready, I'll count to 3 and say go. Your time starts on go. Are you ready?
I'm ready. I'm so slow at this, so you guys are going to laugh.
Show us how to do it safely. 1, 2, 3, go!
Come on, Christian.
Come on, Christian.
There we go.
Oh, your knee ascender's not in.
Can't use it.
Come on, keep going. Okay.
Doesn't it work that if he did that?
Now, had he done that in a competition, he said he was ready, his knee ascender was not in, he would have had 0 points for the setup.
For setup, that's a big loss. Go ahead, Corey.
Time! So,
What if you just
to
wanted to
load
climb
test the rope wrench system properly, it's supposed to be tested with the rope wrench completely off, so
We're
you're
gonna-
just checking the hitch.
That's an excellent question. Go ahead, Taylor.
So how does that, as somebody that is going to do that, I just kind of want to know where
Yep.
I need to go.
During the gear check process tomorrow morning, we are going to go through all that with you. So we can see that the hitch you're tying works and all of that. We'll do that during gear check so that when you come up here, throw it on the rope as long as it's the same hitch.
Gotcha. Okay.
And it holds.
Well, that's not actually
Okay.
loaded.
Right?
Okay.
When I now connect the growl from the heart with my harness, not serious backup.
No, the knee ascender and the foot ascender, there's no series.
No, but if you tether the knee ascender to your harness, that would be a backup. No. Not really. How is that different than attaching a hand ascender to your harness?
Because you're above that ascender.
Yeah. But he's got his rope wrench above that. The other one, you got your hand above your chest.
But it doesn't matter. The system there, the primary attachment point is the croll. Yeah? And there's a shock absorbing element to the handle descender, so if the croll does shred the rope or fail, there's a shock absorbing element. If I do happen to have the slack there, you know, it's all about building systems. I understand there's some frustration here.
And Taylor,
Yeah.
I think that's not allowed because you need 7 inch on the rope wrench.
Once it's engaged, go ahead and pull on your pressing. That's where you measure.
But ready to climb up. And
down.
down, yeah, really. Okay.
One question.
Yes.
Do you have your device like here, the rope wrench underneath the lug to your chest harness, and you go up and detach your clamps? That one can stay on because it's not affecting the...
Correct. Yes. In my system, I had to take the tether off because it affected the descent. But here, the tether can stay on for descent. Yes.
If the climber runs out of time for the setup, so they can still climb.
What did we decide about that? They go over 90 seconds. We'll answer that at the 10 meeting. Are you going to go up, Christian?
Excuse me, what was the answer? They're going to decide later. So basically everybody has to go to find out.
Right, one foot on the ground.
Hey, what are you doing? Dynamic foot lock.
Okay, here we go. When your foot leaves the ground.
Wow. Looks like you could get old doing that. You could keep climbing for a long, long time.
Let's go, Christian!
You're about to magic.
So he does not have to take off his tether, correct?
Correct. Hit the bell again when you're ready.
因為佢中間你嗰度。